What's up, everybody? This is Phil Rogacki.
And I'm Jared Abergina.
You're listening to Two Tree Guys Podcast.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Two Tree Guys Podcast. Today we've got two absolute studs in the industry. We got Peter DeVries and Patrick Fitch.
How you doing?
Yeah.
Talking to David over here.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm David O'Neill.
we're excited to be on.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'm really excited to hear both your stories. Both are definitely inspirations to me personally, and I'm so excited to get to sit here and talk with you both and hear a little bit about your story and some of your knowledge. You know, we start and get a little introduction from you, Peter.
Yeah, for sure. So if you don't know, I'm Peter DeVries. I live in Ontario, Canada. I got in the green industry about 20 years ago, working in like a nursery, landscape. I was a landscape designer, and then since 2014, I was a certified arborist. Still am. Got talking with Courant in 2017, 2018, started testing out products, and then now I work for them. I marketing and product specialist for North America. In my downtime, when I do have any, I'm also a firefighter for a local town that I live in, and also SPRAT certified, and have my rope rescue as well.
Incredible.
Loaded down.
Incredible. Yeah, loaded down. That's a mouthful right there. Yeah.
Oh man, I'm kind of gonna sound like an unqualified chump here.
So we got Patrick Fitch over here. Introduce yourself.
I'm Patrick Fitch. Live in Western Maryland. Work out of Shepherdstown, West Virginia for Viking Trees. Got into the industry. I've been in the at-height industry since 12 years old. Started out rock climbing. I've been a chimney sweep. Started climbing trees somewhat out of high school. You know, I was always a rock climber, always a climber, and so they said, go ahead and hop in a tree, and it was history. So I've been doing that for a long time. I've power line maintenance for 8 years, 8 or 9 years. Residential side, I've been 12 plus years. I've done contracting, but I've been with Viking now for 4 years, and we've built a lot of great things together. Couldn't be happier at the place where I'm at, so I couldn't run my own business. I was not good at it. So it's good that someone runs the business and I can help do the work. So that's where I'm at with that. Sponsored by Gap Arborist Supply. They were my first people that picked me up. Ray's done amazing things for me. And if it wasn't for him, I probably wouldn't be where I'm at, as far as the leg up, as far as gear and being able to put myself out there. And then Courant came along and they came into the U.S. and I was, sold on their bags. And Peter sent me some ropes, and I had started really getting sold on their ropes, and this new Kalimba came out, which I'm sure we're going to talk more about.
Yeah.
And that has been amazing. Working with Recoil Lanyards now, and Dan, and so I got 3 amazing companies at my back, and it just helps me do a lot. And, it helps bring new products to us out there working, and I'm blessed to have the opportunities that I have, to say the least. That's exciting, man. I'm excited. I love being at these things. I love talking to everybody. I love getting the feedback and just the support of the tree community, man. Couldn't be in a better place.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a little
amazing.
bit my story.
So,
Yeah.
Patrick, what are some of your favorite types of production work to do?
That's such a loaded question. And I love it all. I love every aspect of the tree work. I'm huge into removals, like technical removals, man. Like, I gripe about it when I get to it, and I'm just like, oh, look what I have to deal with. This is a nightmare. But man, once I start thinking about how I'm going to set it up, and just when the big pieces of wood start going over, man, it's exhilarating for me. Just watching a smooth plan come into action. You got the homeowners there cheering you on. It's just, it's a wonderful feeling.
Yeah.
But then I love the intricate of, putting in cabling jobs. Like a hub and spoke job is one of the most satisfying things ever. Whenever you finally release the tension into the cabling system and they all equal out, and, they're a nice balanced tension system. So satisfying. And then I love chasing tip work, man. I love getting out to the tips and figuring out ways, to just support myself out on tips, and it's just all, it just keeps your mind going at all times. You're always figuring things out. You're always looking for how you're going to get there, and you're like, there's no way I'm going to get out there. And then I'm like, that's stupid. There's no place in a tree I can't get to. So then you figure it out and you do it. I mean, that's just such a rewarding and good feeling.
Absolutely.
Nice.
I love it. I love and breathe it.
Yeah. And Peter, we were talking a little bit yesterday about some of your work in like rescue scenarios. You just did some really cool training the other day, didn't you?
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. So last Friday, got together with a rescue access company that's in the Greater Toronto area, and also with Maple Leaf Ropes, who helps supply their gear to them. So we all got together to do a rescue event on an escarpment. So we set up a twin line, high line with a reeving system, and to rescue someone that was injured down below. So it's great to get out and be with the community, not just arborists, but the rope community. So access people, rescue people, going to Grimp Days. It's a rope rescue event held here in North America as well in Europe. And going to those events and seeing the everyone coming together, it's just like the arborist community. So it's really cool to be able to be part of all these worlds. Feel very blessed to be part of it.
It's so cool. I love watching all that stuff, man. Rope access is, I really want to get into the rope access of the world. Because it's just another branch of at height that I'm not familiar with, and I love overcomplicating things, and rope access is all about redundancy.
Yeah.
I'm ready to get on board with some of that, actually.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's cool to see that stuff, man.
For sure. The biggest thing, talking with them, rope rescue, rope access people, and about trees, they look at trees and they're like, you would climb on that? And it's like, because they're so used to everything needs to be engineered, rated. And it's like, yeah, you learn over experience of climbing what you can and can't do. Yes, there's times you get to your tie-in point and it's like, oh, I didn't see that from down below. So then you change it out. But yeah, that their biggest thing is us climbing in trees. They're like, that is completely foreign to them. So it's pretty cool to be part of that and also get to share that with them as well.
Yeah. And so you made a comment that just made me think about one of the slogans I connect with Current, hashtag I see all the time, ropes connecting people.
Yeah.
I just, to me, that's so beautiful, and so it speaks so truthfully of this community, right? Of the arboricultural community, but in larger, the entire work at height and rope, community. It's such a family.
Yeah, no, definitely, and it's a great hashtag that we incorporate into our posts and when we meet people, and because it's what connects us. The rope connects us all. So.
Yeah.
And we hang our lives from it daily, so it's a good connection.
That's right.
Absolutely. It needs to be.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So a question for you each is just, what I'd love to hear about a mentor that you each had. So, Peter, if you wouldn't mind starting that out.
For me, I don't have one person in particular.
Sure.
It's more the community as a whole, like going to these events, going to tree climbing competitions, and just learning and talking to the entire industry as a whole. That's what has motivated me, and not to say that that was one specific mentor, but the community as a whole coming together and learning from each other. That's what I love about arborist community, about the rope rescue community. It's all about community and bettering us and keeping everyone safe so everyone can go home at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
Yep. I mean, basically the same thing. When I started, it was rough. It was early 2000s, I believe. Yeah, it was end of the 90s, early 2000s when I climbed my first tree. And then when I got more serious later on into it, it was, there weren't really mentorships where I was. It was kind of a bunch of guys in the back of a pickup truck drinking beer and climbing power line were it. So it was like no real mentorships there, but I learned something from each one of those cowboys that I worked with. They're the ones who taught me how to tie my knots. They're the ones who taught me how to get up a tree. But that was pretty much the extent of it. The rest of it was a lot of trial and error things and what works, what doesn't work. And I was always trying new things. And like, I always saw things a little differently, and I would try it. And if it didn't work, I would try to tweak it till it did work. And, it was the same thing. You go out to these events and you just pick things from each person you're around. You're like, that was awesome. I've never seen that done. Even while I was here today, go out and watch Taylor and Torsacolo out there. I saw things out there today I never saw before. And that's what's exciting about it. Because 20 plus years in, I'm still seeing things I've never seen before. So it's awesome. And that's what keeps driving, and the innovation and just everybody learning from one another, and then taking what they learned and putting their own flair onto it, and then another person adds something to that, and then that's how you build these great things. So I'm kind of tangenting, but it's basically same thing. I've learned from everybody. Everybody's been my mentor. I don't have one guy I can give credit to, but I can give credit to the whole community.
Yeah, definitely.
That's where I'm at with it.
Yeah. So, and clearly both of you have stayed committed and driven and introspective through your path in these wide-ranging really careers, right? But within arboriculture and work at height in general, right? So like, what would you recommend or attribute to the drive it takes to staying hungry, or any tips you might have for anyone listening?
For me, I would say never stop learning.
Okay.
Always have fun with what you're doing, and read your user manuals. You're going to get a lot of information in those user manuals that could save your life or someone else's. So it's very crucial to read the user manual.
Yeah.
And
as far as staying, passionate and engaged, I think you have to bring that on yourself a lot of times, because I've had a lot of slumps where, 10 years in, I was like, man, this is getting kind of monotonous. I was doing power line work. It's up, down, up, down. And, if you get stuck in a situation like that, you got to find, ways to get away from that, like maybe find a new place, a new job, and get out to these tree climbing competitions, start volunteering, because there's passion there, man. And if you can't get passionate about it, this isn't where you should be, I don't think.
Yeah.
This is something you need to be passionate about. It's not something you're going to half-ass, you need to put your all into it.
Mm-hmm.
Just keep learning, man. And that's how I remain passionate. Like, I don't do the same thing on every climb. I look for something new to do. I push myself. Like, if I don't need to get out to a tip, I might still get out there anyway, because I'm going to push myself that day. I'm not going to take an easy way out. I want to feel accomplished when I'm done with my job. It's easy for me to stay passionate, man. Like I said, I remain passionate about this industry.
So for sure. Yeah, like for me, I'm not climbing every day. I wasn't climbing every day even before, because I worked for a municipality. So we had a bucket truck. So bucket truck could get to it. We were always in that. So the passion is coming out to these events, whether it's an expo, a rescue event, or TCIA, or a tree climbing competition. That's where that community and passion keeps driving you to do better and continue in the community.
Absolutely. Yeah. This community is just so spectacular. And I know every time I come out, it to any of these events, it fills me up.
Yeah.
I'm so happy to have met two of you. Grateful for the conversations that we've had and the connections that we've built. And I personally am looking forward to, a subject of a gear talk we'll have later, which is this Kalimba rope, and continuing to have a relationship with both of you.
Yeah.
And so I thank you very much for coming out and sharing your story.
Well, thank you for
Yeah, thanks for having us on.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.